And if you guys ever need some modification for the push-ups, we recommend putting your knees down, and that'll put a little bit of pressure off of your upper body and just make it easier for you to be able to do push-ups with good form. It's really important to do any kind of workouts with good form so that you don't injure yourself and you are working the muscle groups that you want to work. Okay, so now that we've done a little bit of some upper body workout, let's do some stretches. So let's begin by tucking our left leg into our body and stretching our right leg out. And we're going to keep this right leg straight while trying to get our nose to our knee. Okay, ready? And we're going to count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and we're going to switch sides now. So now we're going to tuck our right leg in and splay our left leg out and try to again get our nose to our knee. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and one last stretch. Going to do the butterfly. So kind of make the palms of your feet face each other and just grab them with your hand and try to push your legs down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And for that stretch, you should be feeling it in your inner thighs, just FYI. Okay, so now we're going to be learning our very first kick, kind of. Let me move the camera up. Okay. And as you can see, you can do all of these workouts at home. I'm doing them in my little apartment, so don't worry about space. A lot of the movements that we're going to learn today and for the rest of the 5 classes aren't going to require a lot of space. Okay, so yeah. First kick we're going to learn is stretch kick. And this isn't really a kick that we use in Taekwondo a lot in terms of like sparring, which is the fighting that you see. So if you watch Summer Olympics, you would see Taekwondo sparring there. And that's just 2 fighters fighting for a certain number of points, or during forms, which are, an organized show of, certain movements that we do in Taekwondo. So stretch kick is what, for stretching, as you can tell by the name. So yeah, if you have like a wall that you can lean on with one hand, it really helps with balance and it prevents any injuries. So the leg that's closest to the wall is going to be staying put, and you want a slight bend in your knee to prevent any injury. If you have like hypermobility like I do, it can prevent any like joint pain or anything like that. So one hand on the wall, one leg slightly flexed, and the leg that's not on the side of the wall is going to remain straight, and we're just going to bring it up as far as we can and back and up and back. And we want this to be a controlled movement. We don't want to use a lot of momentum. Okay? So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you'll probably feel a small burn on your hamstrings, which is this back muscle right here. And that's completely normal. You might also feel it in your hip flexors just throughout this Taekwondo video series. All of our kicks do use this hip flexor. It's a really important muscle in set of muscles in Taekwondo. So yeah, if you feel any burning here or in your hamstrings from the stretch kick, that's completely normal as long as it's not painful. So again, we want to make sure that our foot is kind of like flat and splayed out. Toes are pointed towards the ceiling. Yeah, and let's try it again. Ready? Hand to the wall, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and you should be using a lot of force to bring it up, but you shouldn't be using as much force to bring it down because we want to keep it controlled. And notice how my leg doesn't just swing back. It does swing a little bit just because of the momentum, which I try to control with my muscles, but you know, there's a lot of it. It doesn't always work that way. So a little bit of swinging back is normal, but we don't want it to be out of control and like hurt yourself or hurt others that are passing by. So yeah, let's switch it and try it on our left leg. So this time we're going to put our right hand on the wall, and our right leg, the leg closest to the wall, is going to stay put with a slight bend in the knee to prevent any injuries. And we're going to swing our left leg up and down for the stretch kick. Ready? And again, toes pointed to the air, and you should feel it in your hamstrings and your hip flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, kind of just like shake it out a little bit, and let's try it again. Ready? Hand to the wall, and using our left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, awesome. So now you should be feeling all stretched out, hip flexors, hamstrings, and just everything else that we stretched earlier. And so now let's begin the actual Taekwondo part. So the first thing we're going to learn is fighting stance. So we're going to want our feet just a little bit wider than shoulder width, sorry. And we want a little bounce. So a lot of the times this is bouncing slightly forward, slightly back. So it's not really a big bounce, but we don't want to go up and down because when we're sparring, again, that's the fighting, a big bounce would make us slower and it would give us away to our opponent. You know, it takes some time to get back on the ground and like get ready to move again. So we want to go back and forth because as you'll see later on, a lot of our movements do focus on going like back and forth right before we kick. And so the movement is quite natural and we're able to adjust to kick our opponent a lot faster. Okay, so fighting stance. Our hands are going to be up. Our front hand is going to be out. Our back hand is going to be kind of by our chest, and this is to prevent you from getting scored on. So normally in Taekwondo, we have these chest gears, and it protects your body, but it also is a place that your opponent scores on. So if you get kicked on the chest, your opponent gets a certain number of points. So we want to prevent that. And your hand here kind of blocks your chest from being kicked at. So if your opponent's leg is coming out, you can kind of like block it here and here. You can also block any head shots if they're trying to kick your head. So it's really important to keep our hands up. And again, we want to keep our legs shoulder width apart and bounce back and forth. Ready? So this is our fighting stance. Okay, awesome. And I'm going to show it to you this way. And when I say change stance, we're literally going to change our stance from our right leg back to our left leg back. And I did a bad job just now and kind of like bounced up whenever I changed. But normally whenever you change stances, you want to kind of keep low to the ground and do it really fast. Again, because we don't want to like be caught in midair and our opponent just hits us really hard. And then they get points. So right leg back, fighting stance, back! And that yell that I just did is called a key up. And in Taekwondo, we always want to do a key up whenever we change stance or we do a movement or we kick, because it shows our ferocity and shows our spirit, and it gives us a lot of confidence. So it's really important that you incorporate the key up in whatever else you do in Taekwondo. So right leg back, fighting stance, back! And we're going to change stance. Ready? Back! 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 Okay, awesome. So from here, let's try doing our stretch kick. And if you're not yet ready to do stretch kick without the wall, don't worry about it. You can skip this step, and we can move forward without it, because the last thing we want is for someone to do a kick from fighting stance when they're not ready, fall and hurt themselves. So it's okay to take it slow. But if you're ready, we can do stretch kick. Ready? We want to kick with our right leg back. Hana, back. And I'm counting in Korean, which is the language that we use in Taekwondo, because Taekwondo is Korean. So ready? 둘, back. 셋, back. 넷, back. 다섯, back. 여섯, back. 일곱, back. 여덟, back. 아홉, back. 열, back. And change stance. Ready? Back. And now we're going to do it with our left leg. Ready? 하나, back. 둘, back. 셋, back. 넷, back. 다섯, back. 여섯, back. 일곱, back. 여덟, back. 아홉, back. 열, back. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to grab a drink of water. Again, important to stay hydrated during this time. It's the summer, we don't want to get dehydrated. So if you have a bottle of water, I'd recommend getting a sip right now. Okay, so next I'm going to teach you a stance called horse riding stance. Let's move the camera back and adjust it forward a little. So for horse riding stance, we want our legs to be a little bit, or our feet to be a little bit wider this time. Not quite double your shoulder length, but maybe a little bit smaller than that. And we always want to keep our legs bent. And even when your legs are bent, you want to be able to see your toes, just slightly in front of your knee on either side. If we're leaning forward too much, we could get injured, and it's really bad for our knees. And so just make sure you can see your toes whenever you look to either side. Okay, so knees apart, and feet a little bit less than double your shoulders width. And we're going to start here. And our hands are in something called chamber. So chamber is whenever we're ready to use our hands, we're kind of getting pumped. So that's kind of at our hips level, right here where this bone is. And we're going to chamber them. And whenever I count in Korean, I want you guys to punch. And it's really important that we keep our legs bent the entire time, because the horse riding stance isn't legs out and straight. It's always bent and activating these muscles right here. And before we begin, I do want to teach you a little bit about punching. So for punching, we want to make our fist so that our fingers are curled in and our thumb is kind of folding over our fingers like that. We never want our thumb to be out because that could injure our thumb. If someone, kicks or we bang it against something, we could potentially like sprain it or break it. And so it's really important to be mindful of how you make your fist. And we don't want our fist to be like down or up too much. We want it to be rather level, because if we were punching something such as like a bag or if we were sparring and punching someone, then we would want to punch with our knuckles and this like area of your hand. So yeah, make sure that you don't bend it forward too much or bend it up. I actually broke my left wrist because I punched incorrectly a couple years back. So it's really, really important. Okay, so back to our horse riding stance. Again, legs bent, hands in chamber, and we're going to punch. And we don't want to overturn or anything. We just want to, but we do want to use our abs to kind of like move our shoulders ever so slightly, because that'll work our ab muscles as well as give a lot of power to our punch. Ready? 하나, 빠, 둘, 빠, 셋, 빠, 넷, 빠, 다섯, 빠, 여섯, 빠, 일곱, 빠, 여덟, 빠, 아홉, 빠, 열, 빠, 하나, 빠, 둘, 빠, 셋, 빠, 넷, 빠, 다섯, 빠, 여섯, 빠, 일곱, 빠, 여덟, 빠, 아홉, 빠, 열, 빠. Okay, and now we're going to relax and bow. Okay, well, I'm going to just run you through a couple of the stretches that we did at the very beginning. Just those 3 stretches with our legs, and if you want to do a few with your arms, that's fine too. I'll run through those a little bit at the very end as well. But yeah, that was our first lesson. So if you're interested in learning more Taekwondo, I know we didn't really go over a lot this time. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the basics of Taekwondo. Then click the next video. And yeah, I'll see you again, I guess. So if you're interested in doing some more stretches with me, I'm going to go ahead, do the same thing as before. We're going to tuck our left leg in and splay our right leg out and try to get our nose to our knee while keeping our right leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Awesome, and we're going to switch sides. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, that's my foster dog. She's not happy in her crate. 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and now we're going to do that butterfly stance that we were talking about earlier. You're going to feel it in your inner thighs. Feet together and pushing down with your elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and now as promised, I'm going to just do a few like upper body and arm exercises. So if you want to keep your right arm straight and bring it across your chest, then use your left arm to kind of like keep it there and just like, I guess, press into your chest so that you can stretch out your back and your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And if you want to bring it up and kind of like back, you're going to use your right arm and just push your arm back. Don't do it so much that it hurts, but you should be able to feel a stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And switch it around. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, well, thank you so much. That was the end. And again, if you want to learn some more Taekwondo, then click the next video. This is a 6-part series, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.